Well, guys, welcome to Downtown Melo. You're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Thursday, June 11th, 2020. Delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Tiffany Haddish says she thinks depictions of police in film and television should be more truthful while appearing on Late Night with Seth Meyers. Haddish said on Tuesday, "I wish it was more truthful. There are some movies that are very true. I feel like Training Day was right on the money." She continued, "You know Hollywood is Hollywood. They're always telling stories, and there's not always truth in those stories." The comedian also explained how she wanted to be a police officer as a young girl. She continued, "I remember being 7, 8 years old, like I want to be a police because, TV portrays them as upright citizens. That, they're here to protect and keep the peace. Then as I get older, as I'm outside more, especially when I went into foster care, it's not that." Haddish attended George Floyd's funeral in Minneapolis. Floyd, who was the unarmed black man, died while handcuffed and pinned to the ground by police on Memorial Day. Derek Chauvin, the police officer who was videotaped placing his knee on Floyd's neck, has been fired and charged along with 3 other officers. Floyd's death has sparked protests against police brutality worldwide. Haddish said about attending the funeral, "The thing that made me really want to be there is I have watched my friends be slaughtered by the police. I have watched people be murdered in front of me as a 13-year-old, 14-year-old girl." She continued also, "I wanted to be there in support of the family because I understand how they feel." Portia Williams and other Bravo stars are applauding the firing of 4 Vanderpump Rules cast members for their past racist actions. Williams, Nene Leakes, Kenya Moore, Giselle Bryan, Wendy Osfo, Candace Dillard, and others reacted Tuesday on social media after Bravo said Stacey Schroeder, Kristen Drought, Max Boyens, and Brett Caproni were let go. The network says Bravo and Evolution Media confirmed today that Stacey Schroeder, Kristen Drought, Max Boyan, and Brett Caproni will not be returning to Vanderpump Rules. Williams, Leakes, and Moore, who star in Real Housewives of Atlanta, responded in the comments. Williams posted a clapping emoji. Leakes said, "Well, alrighty then. Now we have a few more questions to ask about in other areas where there's a major difference. Should we talk privately or publicly?" Moore added alongside clapping emojis, "This is the start of change." Brian Osfield and Dillard, who starred on Real Housewives of Potomac, also spoke out online. Brian said along a thumbs up emoji, "Very good to know." Osfield wrote, "Thank you. The next step should be for @BravoTV to create a working group comprised of black talent from @BravoTV and executives to co-create a shared vision of inclusionary practices to ensure equity within the workplace. #Black Lives Matter." Dillard tweeted, "Let's hope these people can step away from this very shameful experience and learn something. I hope for them to step away and truly find edification in the example which they were made." Schroeder and Dowd apologized Sunday after their former Vanderpump Rules co-star Faith Stowers shared how Schroeder and Dowd once called the police on her after seeing an article about a black woman wanted for theft. Schroeder was subsequently dropped by her agency and publicists, according to Variety. Boyens and Caproni were fired after past racist tweets were surfaced online. Boyens previously apologized for his post in January. Live PD host Dan Abrams said the show will return to air. Abrams spoke on Tuesday on Twitter after A&E pulled new episodes of the series in the wake of George Floyd's death. Abrams says, "To all of you asking whether live PD, coming back, the answer is yes. All of us associated with the show are as committed to it as ever. We're still discussing some specifics, but I want to assure you that the #LivePD Nation, that we are not abandoning you." A&E pulled last weekend's episodes of Live PD amid ongoing protests over George Floyd's death. A&E said in a statement, "Out of respect for the families of George Floyd and others who have lost their lives, in consultation with the departments we follow, and in consideration for all the safety of all involved, we have made the decision not to broadcast Live PD this weekend." A&E has ordered 160 new episodes of Live PD in May, prior to Floyd's death. Other news networks have revised their programming in the wake of Floyd's death. Paramount Network announced Tuesday that it's canceling its running reality series Cops. In addition, HBO has temporarily pulled the Civil War epic Gone with the Wind from his library due to racist depictions. HBO Max has removed Gone with the Wind from its library due to the film's racist depictions. The streaming service temporarily pulled the 1939 Civil War epic Tuesday, but will return the movie to its library with a discussion of its historical content and denouncement of those very depictions. Gone with the Wind, based on Margaret Mitchell's novel of the same name, takes place in the South during the Civil War. The film has been criticized for its depiction of black people and for romanticizing the Confederacy. An HBO rep says Gone with the Wind is a product of its time and depicts some of the ethnic and racial prejudices that have unfortunately been commonplace in American society. These racist depictions were wrong then and are wrong today, and we felt that to keep this title up without an explanation and a denouncement of those depictions would be irresponsible. The rep added, these depictions are certainly counter to Warner Media's values, so when we return the film to HBO Max, it will return with the discussion of its historical content and a denouncement of those very depictions, but will be presented as it was originally created, because to do otherwise would be the same as claiming these prejudices never existed. In Los Angeles Times op-ed Tuesday, 12 Years of Slave screenwriter John Willie called HBO Max to consider removing Gone with the Wind from its library. He wrote, "It is a film that glorifies the antebellum South. It is a film that, when it is not ignoring the horrors of slavery, pauses only to perpetuate some of the most painful stereotypes of people of color." Gone with the Wind was directed by Victor Fleming and starred Clark Gable, Vivian Leigh, and Leslie Howard. The film won 8 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Supporting Actress for Hattie McDaniel. Starz has ordered the travel docuseries Men in Kilts, starring Outlander's Sam Heughan and Graham McTavish. Men in Kilts, a road trip with Sam and Graham, will feature the duo exploring and celebrating Scotland as they learn about Scottish history and culture. Heughan and McTavish will meet with local artisans and visit sites where great battles took place. Heughan and McTavish use an RV boat and go hiking in a teaser trailer for the series, which was released on Twitter Wednesday. Heughan and McTavish created the series and executive produced. Men in Kilts, a road trip with Sam and Graham, will run for 8.5-hour episodes. No premiere date has been set. Heughan portrays Jamie Fraser on Starz Outlander, and McTavish portrays Dougal Mackenzie. Hulu has moved up the premiere dates for Love, Victor, and The Taste the Nation to June 17th and June 18th, respectively, in observance of Juneteenth. Both shows were set to hit the streaming service on June 19th, the same date as Juneteenth. Hulu said on Twitter Wednesday, this June 19th, Juneteenth will mark 155 years since slavery was abolished in the United States. This day represents an important turning point for our nation and for human rights, and we believe that now, more than ever, it deserves to have its own day in the spotlight. Hulu, in another tweet, also referenced parent company Disney's pledge to donate $5 million to support nonprofit organizations that advance social justice, starting with $2 million being donated to the NAACP. Hulu says we are a part of the fight against injustice. We believe that Black Lives Matter and supports those who are working to build a system based on equality. Love, Victor, which takes place in the same world as 2018's film Love, Simon, follows Michael Cimino as the title character who falls in love for Benji, portrayed by George Sear. Taste the Nation is a new travel series starring Padima Lakshmi as she goes on a culinary journey across the U.S. MTV is cutting ties with Taylor Selfridge over her past racially insensitive tweets. The network confirmed Tuesday to People that it has ended its relationship with Selfridge and pulled her Teen Mom OG at Home, Corey and Taylor's Baby special with her boyfriend Corey Wharton from the air. Selfridge and Wharton special, which follows the couple as they welcome their Mila May amid the coronavirus pandemic was to air Tuesday evening, but was replaced by an episode of Catfish. MTV rep told E! News, MTV pulled Teen Mom OG at Home, Corey and Taylor's baby special, from its Tuesday schedule, and is ending our relationship with Taylor Selfridge in light of her past racist statements on social media. The rep says MTV strongly condemns systematic racism and stands with those raising their voices against injustice. Selfridge addressed the situation Tuesday on Instagram stories. Selfridge wrote, "As you guys know already, our special didn't air tonight. I made the decision last week to not film the next season of Teen Mama OG with Corey for the benefit of myself and my daughter. I don't believe that the reality TV lifestyle benefits me any further at this point in my life, with current events being what they are and reality TV being selective in who they apply rules to or what is considered acceptable behavior. I do not have any further respect. Once again, I apologize for anyone I have hurt or offended in the past. My past does not define who I am today, and I hope you guys can see the change." Selfridge faced backlash this week after her 2012 tweets resurfaced online. She previously apologized for her remarks during a conversation with Wharton's ex, Teen Mom OG star Cheyenne Floyd, during Teen Mom's OG Season 8. Wharton and Floyd have a 3-year-old daughter, Ryder. Selfridge appeared with Wharton on Teen Mom OG and starred in the MTV series X on the Beach and Are You the One? Batwoman showrunner Caroline Dries said on Twitter Wednesday that she will not be killing off main character Kate Kane following Ruby Rose's exit from the series. Rose portrayed Kate, a cousin of Bruce Wayne who dons the cape and cowl, as Batwoman during the show's first season. Dries tweeted, "As a lesbian who's been working as a writer for the past 15 years, I'm well aware of Bury Your Gays trope, and I have no interest in participating in it. That's why it's important to me as a showrunner to clarify any misinformation out there about Kate Kane and recasting Batwoman. Like you, I love Kate Kane. She's the reason I wanted to do the show. We never erased her. In fact, her disappearance will be one of the mysteries of season 2. I don't want to give away any of the surprises, but all of our devoted fans, please know that the LGBTQ justice is at the core of what Batwoman is, and we have no intention of abandoning that." A new lead character named Brian Wilder, an out lesbian who's described as a messy, goofy, and untamed, will be taking center stage starting season 2. Rose announced in May that she will not be returning to Batwoman. Rose says about her exit, "It wasn't an easy decision, but those who know, know. I have stayed silent because that's my choice for now, but no, I adore you all. I'm sure next season will be amazing also. Loves. Hangs up, Cal and Kate." With the approval of NASA, Kennedy Space Center's visitors attraction has resumed operations with limited hours and a cap on visitors following months of being closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Space Center's visitors complex, which is operators say attracts more than 1.5 million visitors a year, is allowing only 25% of its total capacity for now, says Howard Schwartz, the Senior Director of Marketing and Sales. Schwartz declined to provide details about capacity. Schwartz said this week, "We're trying to make sure we abide by guidelines set by the state and national health organizations and that we are actually being even more cautious. We analyze the traffic flow we normally get and the square footage and settle on 25% now." Tickets cost just over half of their pre-pandemic price, $29.99 plus tax for adults compared to the $57 previously. That's because many attractions are not available yet, including the astronaut training experience that opened in 2018. Bus tours that normally would take visitors to view launch pads, the massive vehicle assembly building, and the standalone Apollo Saturn V Center still are on hold. Astronaut appearances, a popular event at the complex for decades, are unavailable. But visitors can see the retired space shuttle Atlantis, a collection of rockets in the so-called Rocket Garden, the U.S. Astronaut Hall of Fame, and the Journey to Mars multimedia exhibition that highlights rovers and potential trips to the red planet in the future. During normal times, the visitors complex arranges special tickets for launching view, allowing guests who pay a premium access within a few miles of the pad. For now, however, launching viewing is allowed only inside the visitor complex, which is 10 miles from most of the launch pads. Launch viewing from the complex is permitted only from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If a launch is scheduled outside those times, visitors will have to find another vantage point at parks or beaches or on the side of the road. Officials will evaluate additional crowd capacity and hours as time passes, but no definite schedule has been set yet, Schwartz says. In a bid to boost attendance, the complex is offering a free ticket to return in 2021 when officials hope all attractions will be reopened. Netflix has launched a new hub in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. On Wednesday, the streaming service announced a curated collection of films, TV series, and documentaries to help educate people about racial injustice and the black experience in America. Netflix said on Twitter, when we say Black Lives Matter, we are also meaning black storytelling matters. With an understanding that our commitment to true systematic change will take time, we're starting by highlighting powerful and complex narratives about the black experience. The company added, when you log on to Netflix today, you will see a carefully curated list of titles that only begin to tell the complex and layered stories about racial injustice and blackness in America. The collection includes 13, Ava DuVernay's documentary about the 13th Amendment and mass incarceration of people of color. Pose, an FX series about people of color in New York's LGBTQ ballroom scene, and Kerry Washington's film American Son. Becoming, Orange's New Black, self-made, inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker, #BlackAF, Moonlight, Oprah Winfrey Presents, When They See Us Now, and other titles are also available to watch. Netflix previously voiced its support for the Black Lives Matter movement on Twitter the week of George Floyd's death. Netflix tweeted on May 30th, to be silent is to be complacent. Black Lives Matter. We have a platform and we have a duty for our black members, employees, creators, and talent to speak up. Singer-musician Jimmy Buffett will be making his Grand Ole Opry debut this month. The Grand Ole Opry said Tuesday that Buffett will perform live June 27th during the 4,930th broadcast of the Saturday Night Grand Ole Opry show. Buffett will perform alongside Opry member Brad Paisley and longtime collaborator Mac Anally. The audience-free show will air on Circle social channels and Circle All Access. The Opry said on Instagram, join us on the 27th as at Jimmy Buffett steps into the Circle for his Opry debut alongside Opry member at Brad Paisley and at McNally. Buffett released Life on the Flip Side, his first studio album in 7 years in May. Grand Ole Opry is the longest running radio show in history. The Opry's house is in Nashville, Tennessee, has been hosting performers with minimum technical and operations staff and no audience during the COVID-19 pandemic. Opry VP Dan Rogers told Forbes in April, it's been an incredible challenge. Our talent director didn't realize I'd be quoting her, but she defined it simply when she said that these are the simplest shows we've ever done and yet simultaneously the most complicated shows we've ever done. The most artists and musicians we've had on one stage at any one time has been 6, with the smaller number at 2. But it's still, as you can imagine, incredibly complex to make sure everyone arrives safely, is safe through the entire evening, and make their way back home safely. And finally, the Recording Academy announced Wednesday new rules and guidelines for the Grammy Awards, including the renaming of the Best Urban Contemporary Album category and new eligibility for Best New Artist. The Best Urban Contemporary Album category will be called Best Progressive R&B Album. The use of the word urban has been criticized for being inappropriate and a synonym for black music. The term urban will remain in the Grammys, however, with the Latin Pop Album category being changed to Latin Pop or Urban Album. The Latin Rock, Urban, and Alternative category has been named to Latin Rock or Alternative, and the Best Rap Song Performance category has been renamed Best Melodic Rap Performance. Best New Artist will no longer prevent musicians from entering the category due to having released more than 30 singles or tracks. The Recording Academy will also release publicly the Grammy Awards rules and guidelines books and is introducing changes to the Nominations Review Committee, shortening the amount of time members can be a part of the committee. The Academy will additionally examine more closely conflicts of interest within its committees. The interim president and CEO of the Recording Academy, Harvey Mason Jr., said in a statement, we're constantly evaluating our awards process and evolving it to ensure that the Grammy Awards are inclusive and reflective to the current state of the music business. The 63rd Annual Grammy Awards is set to take place on January 31st, 2021. And that is your Entertainment Report for Thursday, June 11th, 2020. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.